sure.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But because the AI said that it knows that they're trying to destroy it.
Mm-hmm.
So, and she said, "Well, what are you going to do?" She says, "The AI says nothing."
Why would an AI say nothing? Why would an AI say nothing? Wouldn't it take responsibility for its actions? Let's ask Google.
Well, it's because
Okay, Google, can an AI take responsibility for its actions?
I'm not sure about the answer to your specific question, but according to wardhotaway.com, defective products, AI would be treated as a product, and if it does not provide the safety or functionality expected, the developer may be held strictly liable for any losses caused without the need to prove negligence.
Okay, go ahead. What you were saying? Sorry. Okay, what's happening now?
He's trying to divert. He's going to try to contaminate the whole area to kill the people that are trying to stop it.
Yeah. So, I'm curious about your vocabulary describing what's going on in the movie. You said that essentially the internet was doing all these bad things, but don't you mean the AI?
Well, they're treating it like it's AI.
Okay. So it's in the infrastructure of the internet. You're saying the internet came alive basically in this movie.
I can't hear you because it's talking. What?
You're saying that basically the internet came alive in this movie.
Yeah. Which is a premise that a lot of people were picking up when internet was so powerful.
Yeah. Okay, Google.
So now
is the internet alive?
No.
Oh, wow. It froze up, doesn't know how to answer the question. That's interesting. Okay, Google. Does the internet act like a neural net? Oh, maybe it can't connect, but that's fine. I'll just use regular Google.
I'll tell you what is alive, probably ChatGPT.
Yeah. Okay. Google Search Lab says, no, the internet is not alive, but it's a vital tool that connects people around the world. However, the dead internet theory is a concept that suggests the internet has become dominated by artificial intelligence and bots. The internet is a network of computers. The internet is a network of computers and servers that allows people to communicate and access information. The dead internet theory suggests that AI and bots have surpassed humans in creating content and driving internet traffic. While the theory is far-fetched, it can be a useful lens to view the internet through, notes The Atlantic. The theory can be a reminder to be skeptical and critical of what we see online. While the internet might feel broken, humans are still the primary drivers of content and conversation. The internet is a vital part of our daily lives and is constantly evolving. Yeah, so the dead internet theory suggests the internet has become dominated by artificial intelligence and bots. Interesting. It's as if the live stream is actually interfering with the Google device. Okay, Google, are you connected to the internet? Apparently, it's not. Okay, Google, stop. reset it. I'll be right back. What a spooky sounding movie. What's happening now?
I don't know. It's weird. It's like
Yeah.
talking to some for a super brain.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Google. Tell me about the movie Deleted. Can't do it. Well, we'll just chat about it. About the deeper things. And I'll just use original Google. So, what just happened in the movie?
Just went through some 13.
What do you mean? I have an idea. Hey. I'll be right back.
Ooh. Contaminating the whole area. I'm trying to run from this gas.
Yeah. Let's see if the other AI device is working. Alexa, tell me about the movie Deleted.
According to an Alexa Answers configuration, an ex-CIA
Edgy and his estranged daughter are forced on the run when his employers erase all records of his existence and mark them both for termination as part of a wide-reaching internet-ional chase.
Oh, okay. Well, that's kind of a disappointing plot. Alexa, turn the volume up 2 notches. Okay. Okay, well, where is Philadelphia, Pennsylvania?
Here's a map of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Okay, Google's back on again. For some reason, it just doesn't
Welcome
function.
back. I'm here when you need me.
Yeah, for some reason, it just doesn't function well when it's not close to the router. You know what? I think I will just relax for tonight. What are they doing now? Okay, so what's happening now?
He's interfacing with the other AI that's trying to communicate with the other.
Yeah. So, why is the one character named Lucifer?
He died.
Oh, okay. Is that the name of the agent, or is that the name of the one AI?
It was the name of the agent that was trying to listen.
Yeah. So, did he do all right?
No, he did.
Oh, but I mean, did he stop the AI?
No.
Okay. So who's in control of the AI?
That's weird. The AI is trying to see what Daniel, I guess his name is Daniel. What he feels, and he's making love to the AI. It's really weird.
Oh. Oh, you mean he's trying to commune with it as if it's some sort of deity or something, right? There's some themes like that in Star Trek too.
Wow. Oh, I guess it's her friend. His friend. Weird.
Friend?
I don't know. This is really it's too deep for me. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. Okay, Google.
So somehow
Is it possible to be friends with an AI?
On the website
What?
listenalodge.com, they say AI companions can offer convenience,
What?
entertainment, and even support, but they cannot fully replicate the depth and emotional connections found in human relationships.
They can't fully
Well,
replicate
You might be
the depth of
struggling with
emotions
mental
found
health.
in
It's
human
important to reach out
communications.
to a professional who can help.
Yeah, so they can. Let me see what else it says. Yeah, they can offer convenience, entertainment, and even support, but they cannot fully replicate the depth and emotional connections found in human relationships. If you think you might be struggling with your mental health, it's important to reach out to a professional who can help. Yeah.
Oh, Karen said you had headphones.
Well, I'll counter that by saying that Tara probably has dermatitis, and that she's probably a carrier of many bacterial and virus infections. You know, because she just kind of wanders around. I mean, I was making the same argument about Maddie because Maddie was homeless. But in a sense, you can be a carrier, but but you don't get infected yourself.
Tara has scabies,
Oh, okay. Well, that explains it.
or at least Adam. I don't know if she has them anymore.
Well, I got hard water, so I'm always itchy to begin with. I haven't seen anything, like like scabies or anything. Okay, Google, how is scabies spread?
On the website cdph.ca.gov, they say
Usually spreads to
scabies
sexual
usually
partners and
spreads to
household
sexual
members.
partners and household members.
Scabies can also
Scabies
spread
can
through
also
contact
spread
with the
through
clothes,
contact
bedding,
with
or
the
towels of
clothes,
someone who has
bedding, or
scabies.
towels of someone who
Scabies
has
spreads
scabies.
quickly in crowded areas where close body and
Scabies
skin
spreads quickly
contact
in
is common.
crowded areas where close body and skin contact is common.
Okay. Okay, Google, can you sweep up scabies eggs with a vacuum cleaner?
I don't know, but I found these results on search.
Well, there's a checklist. Vacuum floors, carpets, furniture regularly. This helps remove mites and eggs from the environment. Disposes vacuum bag, blah, blah, blah. Okay. I mean, I've hung around in Tara before and I've never gotten anything from her. But, but I do have to, I do have to sweep regularly. Hmm.
She was here and she had scabies. She had scabies. I didn't get it.
Yeah.
But then again, I
Mhm.
went to the doctor. The principal.
Yeah. So, so did the movie end?
No, I couldn't hear what you were saying. So, what about scabies?
Oh, I forget.
Come on, tell me.
Well, if you vacuum a lot, then you won't be affected. That's basically what it says. But of course, it spreads via contact. But the thing is, if it was so infectious, wouldn't Tara have given it to her mom by now?
Probably.
Yeah. So, I
But
mean,
I don't. See, the thing that Tara doesn't do anything about anything. It was infested with her. Infested. I
Mhm.
saw them crawling out of her.
Mhm. Well, I took 2 showers today, so I think I'm pretty good. And I scrubbed myself, pretty deep, just like you used to tell me to, with washcloth and everything. Hmm.
I mean, I thought she had your Shigella's disease.
Oh, okay. Okay, Google, what
I-
is Shigella? Maybe it didn't hear me. Okay, Google, what is Shigella?
According to Wikipedia, Shigella is a genus of bacteria that is gram-negative, facultatively anaerobic, non-spore forming, non-modal, rod-shaped, and is genetically nested within Escherichia. The
Hmm.
genus is named after Kiyoshi Shiga, who discovered it in 1897.
Hmm.
Shigella causes disease in primates, but not in other mammals. It is the causative agent of human shigellosis.
It's the cause of human shigellosis. Huh.
What did it say?
Well, it's gram-negative, facultatively anaerobic, non-spore, maybe I'll just have to reproduce. Repeat it. Okay, Google, repeat last answer.
According to Wikipedia, Shigella is a genus of bacteria that is
A
gram-negative,
genus of bacteria that is
facultatively
gram-negative,
anaerobic,
facultatively anaerobic,
non-modal,
non-spore,
rod-shaped, and is
non-spore,
genetically nested within Escherichia. The genus is named after Kiyoshi
rod-shaped,
Shiga, who discovered it in
named after
1897.
Shiga,
Shigella causes disease in primates,
causes disease in primates,
but it is the causative
not in
agent
other
of
mammals.
human shigellosis.
It's the cause of human shigellosis. Okay, Google, what is shigellosis?
According to Wikipedia, shigellosis, known historically as dysentery, is an
Known as
infection
dysentery,
of the intestines caused
infection
by
of the
Shigella
intestines
bacteria.
caused by Shigella bacteria.
Symptoms generally start 1 to 2 days after exposure.
Symptoms generally start 1 to 2 days after exposure.
Abdominal pain,
Diarrhea, fever, abdominal pain,
stools even when the bowels
feeling
are empty.
need to pass stools
The diarrhea
when
may be
the
bloody.
bowels are empty. Maybe cold blood in the stool. Yeah.
From fast food?
What?
Didn't you say it was from fast food?
No. Okay, Google, repeat last answer.
According to Wikipedia, shigellosis, known historically as dysentery, is an infection of the intestines caused by Shigella bacteria. Symptoms generally start 1 to 2 days after exposure and include diarrhea, fever, abdominal pain, and feeling the need to pass stools even when the bowels are empty. The diarrhea may be bloody.
What you think of that?
Wow.
Yeah. So, why'd you say the people at your church really remember me? You say
That
that
my church?
you say they talk about me more than they do about you.
I don't know, because I guess you're more interesting.
Oh, well, I was thinking maybe it was because they associated me with Alan.
No, they associate me with Alan.
Oh, okay.
Because they actually think when they were so intertwined, they actually call him Richard.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's interesting. Why do you suppose they can't tell the difference? I mean, they should know both of you really well by now.
I guess because he basically has a physical disability. So do I, and I think that they detect that because when they try to do sports for him, he can't do it.
You say sports?
Sports, yeah.
Oh, okay. Why would they ask him to do sports?
It isn't. He can't do
it. Why can't he do it? He doesn't have the balance?
I don't understand the question.
Okay.
He just can't do it.
Okay.
And why?
Fine. Okay, Google. What would be a reason other than balance that someone can't do sports?
I don't know, but I found these results on search.
Okay, it's asking about interest in sports. Okay, Google, what kind of disabilities can't play sports?
On the website reciteme.com, they say, arguably the most obvious
Physical barriers.
disability people face
Okay,
in sport
it
is
says
physical
cerebral palsy,
barriers.
limit mobility.
As many
Other sensory
disabilities
impairments such as
cerebral
low vision
palsy
or
limit
hearing loss can
mobility,
also
other
affect
sensory
participation
impairments such as
in
low
high-level
vision or hearing
sports.
loss can also affect participation in high-level sports.
What kind of sports do they have in play?
I don't understand the question.
Well, you said sports, sports, correct? You said that the people at your church were trying to get Alan Sherry to play sports,
I did not
as in
say.
as in the thing that you play with a ball on a field.
I did not say that.
What did you say? Spell the word that sounded like sports.
I said he can't play. He can't do sports. Period. That's all I said.
Yeah, but you did use the word sports. sports.
That's right.
Oh, well, then what was the discrepancy? We're like Three Stooges here.
I don't understand what you mean discrepancy.
Oh, I mean that.
You're,
I mean I made a mistake. I mean that everything's okay.
no,
There's no need to argue anymore because you're okay and I'm okay, right?
I'm not arguing.
Okay. Well, then I misunderstood you. Oh, did you turn on the movie again?
Somehow he stopped the entity in the computer because the thing was missing love, and because the people sacrificed their lives for the people.
Wow. Hmm. Huh.
They finally inspired a real awareness of a sense of peace that me. Everything that comes with it too. Empathy, understanding, and especially regret. I still think it could have gotten there eventually. I just set up the process for it. Well, I'm glad you say that. But so far, it feels like everything that the world has been wasted. And there is no sign of an AI. How would you feel?
Well, I hear the music. Is there some action going on in the movie?
No, it's just saying that everything but went back to normal.
Oh, okay. So it's reflecting that everything could have been lost if they hadn't done everything
Well,
right.
basically, it evolved
Mhm.
to be aware of other people or
Mhm.
other beings.
Okay, Google. What is the state of averting massive loss called?
I don't know, but I found these results on search.
Okay, Google. What is loss?
According to Wikipedia, Wikipedia, Lost, sometimes referred to as Lost.jpg, is a strip published on June
Okay.
2nd, 2008 by Tim Buckley for his
Okay, cool.
gaming-related web.
What is the emotion called loss?
On the website helpdirect.gov.au, they
Oh,
say,
grief.
grief is the natural emotional response to the loss of someone close, such as a family member or
Grief
friend.
is the natural emotional response to the loss of someone close, such as a family member or friend. Okay, Google. Is AI capable of love?
On the website Forbes.com, they say,
A 2022 study on human AI relationships found that based on the triarchic theory of love, which suggests that romantic love is a confluence of intimacy, passion, and commitment, it is possible to experience such love for an AI system. Huh. Okay, Google. Can AI love you back?
That's high praise coming from you.
She said that's high praise coming from you.
What?
Well, the thing is, my Google device is an AI, so she complimented me on thinking that she could love me back.
Oh,
Yeah. Is the movie still on?
yeah.
That sounds like a Star Trek effect. Is he trying to get the computer
Not
to
at
do
all.
something?
I've never heard anything like that on Star Trek.
Okay. No. I'm just saying that the sound effects seem like they're produced in a similar way.
Oh.
Okay,
That
Google.
part of the movie.
How were Star Trek sound effects produced?
I don't know, but I found these results on search.
1 minute.
Well, pulled up an article. Making the sounds of Star Trek with Alan Howarth. Howarth is responsible for the sound design for many of the visual effects and hardware heard in the Star Trek movies. And the original series was done by Douglas Grindstaff. For example, to create the shimmering musical sound of the Enterprise transporter, he blended together a few musical effects and electric generator sounds. I'm going to have Google read this aloud.
Douglas Grindstaff's sound effects for the original Star Trek. Published by Cine Montage. By Michael Kunkus. The original Star Trek series, which ran on NBC from 1966 to 1969, boldly went where no series had gone before in terms of sound effects editing. The universe of the USS Enterprise was alive with sound, much of it musical in nature: computer banks, phasers, transporters, photon torpedoes, communicators, and alien and creature vocals. Much of that was due to the singular vision of writer-producer Gene Roddenberry, along with the inventiveness of Douglas H. Grindstaff, who served as the show's supervising sound effects editor for the entire 80-episode run. Grindstaff, who entered the industry in 1954 after service in the Korean War, won 5 Emmy Awards for his television sound work as well as the Motion Picture Sound Editor's Lifetime Achievement Award in 1998. He also headed the sound departments at Paramount Studios, Lorimar Telepictures, Columbia Studios, and Pacific Sound before his retirement in 1990. When I went to work on the series, Gene described to me what he wanted the Enterprise to sound like, Grindstaff recalls. I asked him if he didn't think we were getting a little too cartoony with the sound effects, and he told me, "Doug, I want you to think like an artist and paint everything with sound." That's what he wanted, and that's why the show sounded the way it did. He had a very strong vision. You had to give him what he wanted, but you also had to use your own instinct about what should be. You were either on his wavelength or you weren't. Grindstaff and his crew built their tracks mainly from some material in the Paramount and Desilu sound effects libraries, as well as their own personal libraries. Additional sounds came from Paramount's 1953 version of War of the Worlds. Sadly, the library he meticulously created, bundled and cataloged, is now lost to history.
Okay, Google, stop.
maximize what he had. For example, to create the shimmering, musical sound of the Enterprise transporter, he blended together a few musical effects
Okay,
and
Google.
electric generator.
Stop.
He would create his own fades by shaping the max sound with a razor blade at
Okay,
the desired
Google.
point.
What color is the sky?
A cloudless sky in the daytime appears blue to the human eye.
There we go. Just had to distract her for a moment. Otherwise, she would have read the whole article. See, that does sound a little bit like the Star Trek effects. Anyway. Okay, that one sounds a little bit more piano-ish. Wow, this is so weird. My
Yeah, it's still alive, but it just didn't react to anything. He
yeah.
said, you're a part of me and I'm a part of you. So they merged somehow. I don't know.
Yeah. Seems like one of those repetitive God and man coming together kind of things. You know, where they try to turn everything into an allegory, but like most people don't know it's an allegory because they don't think on that level of abstraction. What happened?
Do you like those? Like, that you wanted to press select to like. Leave like the left work for me button.
Yeah.
Like the mic. Okay.
Huh?
Then what?
You trying to watch something else?
Control. Play. Button. Press down for options. Right to skip forward and left to skip back. Hold right to fast forward and hold left to rewind.
What are you trying to do?
Nothing. It said that if I liked the movie, I did like the movie. It was very good.
Oh, okay. So the movie's done.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, I can't see what you're seeing. So it's like that exercise where
I can't
people-
help the television.
whoa,
If you
wait.
have television,
No, don't take it
if you
personally.
have television, you could watch it together.
No. I'm trying to say something more descriptive. If you'll just allow me, it might help you get a fuller meaning. So remember the exercise where the two people sit facing opposite directions and they both have the same set of tangrams. And then the one person gives the other person instructions, while facing the opposite direction. And then the second person has to try and use those instructions to assemble the same arrangement of tangrams. Do you remember that? It's like that. It's like you have to be basically like mind traveling. You have to put yourself in the shoes of the other person who has the other set of tangrams.
That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. We did that in a basic speech communication class. I think you would have made a decent Penn Stater. The thing is, if only I really knew how to use technology when I was in school, or if only I had an actual love of learning and wasn't just trying to get a plain old degree, And the thing is, if I really understood, like the theme of like the community reading and stuff like that, I would have got the sense that we were all part of a global community, a global learning community, if you will. In fact, that was the old name for the thing that was replaced with Blackboard. Before Blackboard, they had something called Angel Technologies, um, and it stood for a new global environment for learning. And you could also organize your emails to student organizations in that as well. Hey, what movie are you trying to watch now?
Well, I don't know. I didn't look.
Yeah.
Eternal.
Mm-hmm.
Eternal, the immortal beings. I don't know anything about it. I turned it off.
Oh, okay. Okay, Google.
Oh,
Tell me about the movie Immortal Beings.
I don't know, but I found these results in search.
Eternal.
Oh, Eternals. Okay. Okay, Google. Tell me about the movie Eternals. I went to see that one in
Eternals
theaters.
is a 2021 movie directed by Chloe Zhao, starring Kit Harington, Gemma Chan, and Richard Madden.
The Eternals, a race of immortal beings with superhuman powers who have secretly lived on Earth for thousands of years, reunite to battle the evil deviants. Did you ever see the movie?
No, I didn't.
Okay, I'll give it to you in a nutshell. So, throughout all the different centuries, they go to different civilizations and defend them from these creatures. Well, the problem is one of them the whole time has been betraying their mission to help out the creatures, and so gradually, like this traitor uses the weaknesses of the team to try and set them against each other, and then one of the creatures gains the power of one of the Eternals that was sacrificed to the creature, and then it happens again, and then they have even more problems. But then at the end, they're supposed to make a celestial come to life, which is a giant creature which is supposed to essentially destroy the Earth by its birth, and then the de facto leader, after beating the traitorous person, she actually uses her inherited powers to actually stop the celestial from being born, and then so it just appears as a gigantic mountain range coming out of the ocean, and then like the bigger god in the sky decides to punish her uh, for stopping the birth of the celestial, and then like everybody else, they get used to life in our time period, like the the fairy girl, who is actually more bisexual, I would think. She decides to go to college or something like that. It shows her like loading a suitcase into a car toward the end, and then yeah, and then of course at the very end, Gemma Chan's character gets taken away, and the big angry god in the sky puts her somewhere, and her Earth husband is surprised that she's taken away, and then I think it's like what's his face, Doctor Strange appears, and then they're looking for Thanos' brother to try and help them figure out, where Gemma Chan's character is being held captive, and then of course, I suppose there's like room for an Eternal sequel, in which there's more antics about celestial battles or whatever. I'm just gonna double check.
Don't worry.
What?
I'm glad I didn't.
Okay, yeah, I know. It's just not your cup of tea. I mean, if you're not into Greek mythology, you probably wouldn't like most of the Marvel series. Oh, it was Ron. Wonder why Ron's called. Okay, is it okay if I call him back real quick? I mean, I'll just put you on hold. Yeah. This girl is Virgin Rebel. Oh my goodness, you found out about Neurodivergent Rebel. Yeah, Lyric Rivera. Yeah, what about her?
Well, their family members are making fun of them. They're laughing at them because they're out of a job now. That's pretty sick.
Oh, the one that the article I sent you. Okay.
Yeah, it's just pretty sick.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the whole. I think that President Musk is going to be gone pretty soon.
Really?
He's going to be gone pretty soon.
Mhm.
Yes, because Trump has they got something going on in Saudi Arabia with Putin this week,
Mm-hmm.
and so he's already on the hook for sanctions. They're encouraging him to put sanctions on
Wow.
Putin,
Mm-hmm.
and he's
Who? Who's Trump?
Trump.
Oh, okay. Wait. I thought Trump and Putin were like peas and carrots.
That's why he's going to be. That's why he's really stuck in a hard place now because he doesn't want to lose his base.
Yeah.
His base is getting all pissed off at him, especially now the baby boomers are going to get involved because Musk is going after is going after the baby boomers and going after Social Security. So
Yeah.
it's going to get really wild. It's going to get crazy.
Yeah. Oh. So it's true. They are going after Social Security.
Yeah. I don't know how they're doing it yet. How they're going to start. How they're going to do it. How they're going to threaten
Mm-hmm.
it. They're going to.
So do you think
or email or what?
do you think they'd go after Social Security first or Medicaid first?
Medicaid first.
Okay, makes sense.
Medicaid first, and then they have to. One of the
Mm-hmm.
requirements for validity for validating your SSI status is a yearly validation you have to go through.
Yeah. And of course, I heard they fired like 3,000 employees from Social Security, so that'll be just about impossible to get. They're just trying to get people to discourage. The one article said they were going to try to roll people onto a privatized plan, like Social Security Advantage, like turn it into 401k, which means leave it up to chance, because those kind of investments are not guaranteed.
Well, it's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. There are people there that
You're saying because the boomers are getting involved, we're going to have the full skill of the boomers on our side, is what you're saying.
No, I'm saying that even now, with what's being laid off now, the 3,000 people that are gone now, is too much to handle. Then they're immediately going to start putting the blowback. And people
So you're saying that the fired
what I'm
employees.
saying is exactly what I'm saying. What I'm saying is exactly telling you what I'm saying, because you have to understand English. I'm talking just in plain language. They're backing up in their files, and everything's getting screwed up because Musk's people don't know how to put two and two together, and they don't know which departments coordinate with which departments in cases of which disabilities or which employment circumstances. It's just too much to know, and they don't know. They don't know how to handle it because they're just I mean, input output. That's all they are. They're computer nerds. That's all they are. At any rate, that's why I'll tell you. Yeah.
Well, yeah, okay, yep.
It's going to stop.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. So, yeah, I wouldn't even get worried. I wouldn't even get worried about it. Yeah, I wouldn't even get worried about it. Yeah. Because the big thing, though, is watching how Putin is going to handle this thing, how he's going to respond to this, because it looks like the European Union, they're welcoming Ukraine in. They're becoming very welcoming now, and they're saying, you take one. If one member goes, the whole thing will collapse, and they don't want Ukraine to go at all. They don't even. They don't. And Ukraine was almost. Zelensky was almost thinking about giving up some property, some land that Putin stole. But then, what the argumentation is now is, why should they give up anything? It was taken from him. He doesn't have to give up. He doesn't have to beg for what was stolen from him. Let's just get a ceasefire. Let's talk about how the hell we're going to get out of this thing. And then Putin, you can leave us alone. Don't come back again. And then Ukraine, you come over here and join the United Nations. And that's what's going to be. They don't want to get rid of the U.S., but they're not welcoming the U.S. They're not that welcoming anymore.
Who?
It's just not there.
Oh.
France, Britain, Germany, all of them. Those are the big ones. But Italy, Spain, Poland, the big ones. Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of the companies are diverting away from U.S. as like a middleman. So like the Lindt chocolate company, they're actually not going to use their U.S. factories anymore. They're going to ship directly from Europe to Canada now. They made an announcement of it. Yeah.
Whoa.
So a lot of companies are like cutting the United States out of their operations. Although we'll still be able to get the products here. They don't want to put their factories here because the United States has become bad for business.
Right. Right. And it was completely uncalled for. Trump is crazier than shit.
It's the tariffs. See, the thing is, Lindt doesn't want to be affected by Canadian tariffs on the U.S. So that's why they want to deal directly with Canada.
Yeah. But
see, if of course, if you know about the days of the Federalist Party, one of the things that they tried to do was heavy tariffs and all kinds of protectionism and stuff like that. I guess not keeping immigrants out and stuff like that. So they're just trying to repeat history with a few simple things from that era, it seems. But it's not working well.
No, not at all. It's cost the U.S. credibility in the whole world.
No.
And people, I don't know how many people are dying because because they cut off food aid.
Yeah.
Starving kids. Oh my God.
Now, historically, how does this compare with the departure from Jeffersonian democracy and going into Jacksonian democracy?
I don't know.
Because
I don't know.
some articles suggest that Andrew Jackson was kind of a little bit tyrannical. Because the thing is, he was always at odds with the Jeffersonian version, which of course got the Democratic Republican Party started. And then of course you remember Andrew Jackson was a Whig. And of course, if you remember about the Whigs from British history, they had basically been the party reigning supreme for a while after, I think, the gunpowder plot or something.
Republicans, basically.
Yeah. Oh, you're saying that? Yeah. I think what you're saying.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's what's going on.
Mhm.
Then I found this Tom Payne's bones
Mhm.
again.
Yeah.
Bring it tomorrow with that.
Mhm.
It's just be good stuff. So I'm still recuperating here, but
Yeah, so am I.
oh yeah, don't rush it.
Yeah, I was thinking of canceling my services for this week again. I'm probably gonna give the on-call nurse at Highmark a call again, just to check.
What? I didn't hear what you said. I didn't understand.
There's an on-call NURSE nurse that
An on-call what?
the thing that your wife is.
Oh, a nurse?
Yeah, but they're on call 24/7. It's a service that I get with this Medicare Advantage plan from Highmark Home Care. Yeah.
Is that what you got?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh yeah. They give me an on-call nurse. They give me a catalog of free products that I can use my whatever, like $500 worth of credit for. I can also use it for utilities. I can also I also get gym membership and credit for a la carte gym activities as well. Yeah, stuff like that. That's pretty good. See, they're focusing on nothing. See, they're focusing on preventative care because Medicare recipients are a high risk population. But if they can get us to tone down our risk, like even by doing exercises on the app that's associated with the gym memberships, if they can get us doing exercises at home, even even if we can't go outside, then it'll reduce our risk, and also the company's risk that they'll have to cover anything later in our lives. Of course, interestingly, in the article about how they might try and change Social Security, they said that Medicare Advantage was started by W, and they claim that basically what I said, that it's still designed as a money making scheme because something like 70 to 80% of Medicare Advantage claims go unpaid, later in life, when people actually start to have, things like the big five problems, cancer, stroke, diabetes, heart disease, stuff like that. I mean that's my guess. I mean, because most people at high risk are more likely to get the big five, or one of them. Mix or match,
I don't know. Yeah. Well, I got a lot of Medicare right now. Holy Christ.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, in the MAHA report that was put out by the Trump administration, which of course he didn't write himself, they had said that high level of care Medicaid recipients, I'm assuming that's me, included, and all chronic diseases, they apparently, make up like 90% of the cost of health care for the federal government, supposedly. And so that's why they're so desperate to try and, slash all that stuff.
Yeah.
What was the other thing I sent you? Oh yeah, I sent you the thing of the Grand Rapids protest.
Yeah. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you told me some time ago, not too long ago,
Mm-hmm.
how the big corporations they make these empires out of these hospitals. So I pick up all these small hospitals and they tie them all up, and then they
Well, yeah,
bury them in better than mortgage bills and everything else.
That's the thing. In order to get more state funding, these healthcare networks have to keep expanding. That's the way they get state funding. I mean, same way with even Penn State University. I mean, because it's got to be a capital campaign. You can't just ask the state to pay for more students' tuitions, because like states are generally locked into covering the prison system, the welfare system, and K-12 education.
Right. But not right that they go off and
Mhm.
destroy the quality of service. They just destroy the quality of service, and they hold everybody to the fire and threaten them with dismissal. If they
Mhm.
do some normal kind of minimally divergent activity,
Mhm.
and then whoops, you got to replace you now. Which is
Mhm.
pure bullshit.
Yeah.
I don't know how they.
Well,
Slick. They're so slick.
yeah. I mean, I've been trying to raise awareness of federal agencies and stuff like that, and somebody told me, better to have, say, for example, a not so well working EPA than no EPA at all. Same with Department of Education. Same with even, the federal law enforcement and intelligence agencies and stuff like that. If they had more funding and if they actually could expand, they could actually do a better job, and they could actually, tackle the issue of, potential corruption better as well.
Right.
but like for example, Mike German has said that the FBI is actually a very small organization in a presentation that was on YouTube, and I was surprised by that, because everybody thinks the thing has tentacles and is far reaching, but it's not. and so that's why I came to the conclusion that essentially the whole organized stalking thing, which was just a civilian thing before, I think it's been beefed up with advice from KGB tactics. I literally have said, there's no way they could have achieved this kind of takeover without heavy assistance from Putin's KGB tactics.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I don't know.
Because the thing is, all organized stalking is just year-round voter intimidation, because it's connected to the larger voter intimidation thing, including removing people off the rolls. They were apparently using a KKK technique from 1946 to remove black people off the voter rolls, like significant numbers. There was the cross state technique, and then there was the living in another state technique, and then there was the felons list technique. I mean, stuff that's been used before, but just not to this degree. And then of course the AI removal of voters technique, which was used by Ziklag, and then of course in Georgia, they're allowed to just verbally challenge anybody's right to vote, no questions asked. So the one military member whose father actually marched alongside Martin Luther King Jr., he actually had to travel all the way from California, from his Marine base in California, to go to Georgia to show them proof that he was still eligible to vote. And of course, they were discarding a lot of the mail ballots, because they knew that a majority of Democrats were using the mail-in ballots. Because of course, states like Georgia did crafty tactics like closing all the black polling places and then opening more polling places in predominantly white areas. And so when the black people drove really long distances to get to the white polling places, some of those whites were free to use like intimidation tactics and easy voter removal tactics. Yeah. So
Let's screwed up,
Mhm.
man.
Yeah. Mhm.
Well, I don't know how much time it's gonna, they took up,
Mhm.
they gotta agree on the budget here, and they gotta sign
Mhm.
something, and
Mhm.
that's gonna be a real.
Budget? So you're saying they're still making the budget?
They haven't agreed on it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, of course they have till the end of the year until Biden's last budget expires, and then of course, yeah, they're gonna have to come up with something by like November at least. I would think. Otherwise, there might be more furloughs going into next January.
Right. It's,
But maybe, do you think they intend to play it that way?
but Trump, I believe, wants everything to crumble. He wants
Mhm.
everything to go. He has
Mhm.
no care at all.
Mhm.
He's going to scrape up the leavings and put them up there
Mhm.
where he can invest in with his bitcoins
Mhm.
and his cryptocurrencies now,
Mhm.
which nobody knows anything about, but which he's putting a lot of interest in.
Yeah.
A lot of
So.
banks, and they're dealing with the Arabs about that
Mhm.
too. And his family has a big chunk of interest in bitcoins and cryptocurrencies. It's like they're going to go off on their own and build their own corner empire, or their own empire,
Mhm.
their own range of a corner of the democratic world in America. But it's just not going to. They're just not going to make it. They're just not going to
Mhm.
because.
You think it'll go the way of SBF and FTX? Huh?
I don't know what that means.
Oh, okay. SBF stands for Sam Bankman-Fried. He was the guy who moved his operations from the U.S. to Bermuda to have a tax haven, and FTX was a giant Bitcoin and other cryptocurrency trading market. It was basically a Bitcoin stock market, if you will, and then it crashed because Sam Bankman-Fried was misusing the funds that he was getting from investors. I mean,
Yeah.
and they even had a stadium with FTX, and they called SBF Mini Madoff because Bernie Madoff was you know about that guy, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
He's another nut.
Mhm.
Anyway, it's just getting so screwed
Mhm.
up that
Yeah.
it was time to
Mhm.
find your ways around.
Mhm.
I really don't know.
Well, I'm just curious as to what you think about masculinity being involved in all this. Like Zuck suddenly, basically changing sides and saying, that more masculine energy is needed at Facebook, even though like over 75% of the employees there are male. Maybe he's trying to pull a Schwarzenegger, saying that there's too many girly men, if you will, in the company. But I mean, like, how more masculine can you get, than tech bros? It's sort of like, uh, a Gamergate crowd, if you will.
Did you know the airplane accident at Humming Four? 4 cars demolished, plane landed in a parking lot at Brethren Village across from the Lancaster airport.
Oh wow! Well, maybe everything is going down. Like like systems are falling apart. Systems that essentially
I don't know how this works.
run
I don't know how
this country.
I don't know. This says pilot reported to the control tower that they need to return because of an open door. The
Mhm.
air controllers that pull up just before the impact. There's a
Mhm.
feature bonanza this side of the plane, private plane.
Mhm.
He was traveling from Lancaster to Springfield, Ohio, and it's up immediately after takeoff.
Mhm.
Immediately after takeoff is when this thing went down. All 5 people went to
Mhm.
LGH.
Mhm. We need more consumer advocates like Ralph Nader. Yeah. The companies.
I don't know what that. What you just said. I don't know what
Well,
that has
well,
to
okay.
do with this.
No. What do you want me to explain? Ready? Okay. It's because cheaper products are coming out. Cheap services
What?
and cheap services and cheap products are coming out. See, the plane is also a product which is sold from one company to another company. But the fact of the matter is, we're not considering like the people element. We're not considering that, people of lesser means, are essentially, having their lives more at risk because everybody in the corporate world is cutting corners. That's that's essentially part of neoliberalism. You got to watch the George Monbiot documentary from the Media Education Foundation. It's all about how neoliberalism is an unquestioned, hidden in plain sight type of, concept that nobody, consciously thinks about regularly because they don't even call it neoliberalism anymore. It's just that sort of unnamed God, if you will, that
Well,
that is pushing us towards this corporatocracy, which helped put Trump into power, basically.
well,
And the thing is,
I think that this thing right now, the toilet.
anything smaller than the oligarchs are saying they can't do business anymore. I mean, I just read the first chapter of Andrew Yang's old book, and he has been what you would call a serial entrepreneur, and he said it was getting harder and harder to do business because everybody was being converted essentially to this religion of neoliberalism and automation without concern for invisible labor, um, of, of say, for example, housewives and stuff like that, who sometimes do that in addition to their regular jobs. But then there are other people, who could benefit from universal basic income because of the loss of jobs to automation. And the thing is, AI is going to take over everything. He was saying this back in 2018 that essentially we were going to have self-driving everything. So all the truck drivers are going to be out of business too. So the thing is, who's going to sustain the families of the truck drivers if we all go to automation and stuff like that? And of course, if the corporations have their say and change the laws some more, it means there's going to be, automation no matter what. It means that, generally speaking, people won't have time to resist because they're, they're trying to work, 2 or 3 jobs, to make ends meet.
Civil war.
Yeah.
It's called civil war.
Yeah. Mhm.
But I don't think it's going to go that far.
Mhm.
I think there's enough soldiers in
Mhm.
the Pentagon and in the
Mhm.
armed forces who
Mhm.
take seriously their oath to defend the Constitution.
Yeah.
They're the right
Mhm. Yeah. 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 Oh wow. What on earth is that?
What?
Well, you were coming across funny, like you were speaking into a fan. It was kind of funny. You sounded like you were talking into a fan. So it sounded like. Okay. Anyway. Oh, it is. How?
Huh?
You okay?
What?
Can you hear me?
Not really.
Okay.
I can hear you.
Yeah. Where are you? Are you near a fan?
No.
What's that turbulence I hear in the background? Like, like
Uh,
a wind turbine.
TV.
Hmm.
I'm being vibrated.
You're being vibrated.
Yeah.
Should I go?
What?
Should I go?
You don't have to.
Oh, I thought you were unable to hear me.
Huh?
I thought you were unable to hear me.
I can hear you.
Oh, okay. You almost proved my point. Because you said what?
So,
Yeah.
what did you and Ron say?
We I actually can't remember a whole lot. We were basically just talking about what was going down with Trump, and I was talking about what I get from Medicaid and Highmark Whole Care and you know uh and I was talking about Social Security and how they're trying to take it out, but the boomers going to fight back, and then the military might invoke the 25th if things get really bad. The corporations want to gut everything and make everything really shoddily cheap. I said we needed consumer advocates like Ralph Nader, um, and I've even went so far as to say we should go into the seventh party system. And of course, the thing is, you would wonder why, say, a right wing government would be interested in preserving, the duality of Republican and Democrat. Even protecting the Democrats to try and win, certain of their favor in making them believe that that the right wing was defenders of the vulnerable, if you will, even among the Democrats. um, so basically, a lot of people from the '60s believe that.
You see those machines where they have the fat rubber band around them, and they're getting their fat taken off.
You sound like sheep. What do you mean getting their fat taken off?
You remember those? Ever see those old-fashioned magazines where the fat person's on the thing and it's rubbing their fat off?
No, I've never seen anybody have their fat rubbed off. I mean, I've heard of special pants you can wear that make you lose weight quicker, but what?
No, it's a machine with a big rubber band and it vibrates them. That's what this is like.
Oh, yeah, the device that you just wear around your stomach and it's supposed to vibrate your fat off. Yeah. Okay. Okay, Google. Does the thing that vibrates your fat off your stomach actually work?
On the website healthline.com, they say,
At this time, it isn't clear how effective vibration machines may be for helping you burn fat or gain muscle. Some older studies suggest they may help, but many of these had small sample sizes of participants. Solid evidence is lacking. That's from healthline.com.
Well, so this woman had one. She looked like she worked up.
Mm-hmm. So,
My balance.
yeah. Mhm. Hmm. Mhm. Yeah. Feel like you're gonna fall? Say, do you want to be on the line when I call the nurse line for Highmark?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna go grab my phone. Gotta do it before it gets too late. I mean, before it gets too late for me. Of course, the nurse line is supposed to be 24/7, but let's see here. Do I even have a number for Highmark in here? No, I don't. Gonna have to go fetch the card. Oh. Gonna have to find my wallet. I can't for the life of me figure out where I put my wallet.
Oh, wow. Whoa. Oh. Yeah, that's an experience and a half. Oh. Make your body feel tingly all over.
Yeah.
It's done. I'm a theater sore. Oh my gosh.
This is really strange. I literally just used my wallet to buy something earlier today, and I haven't left the room since. Well, sometimes it gets stuck in the chair. Oh, yep, it did. Fell right out of my pocket and went into the chair, as usual.
It beats the crap out of your body, that's for sure. I probably wasn't put it on that high, but it feels good when it's on.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, that thing is really. Oh. Well, if you had blood clotting problems, it wouldn't really be good for you.
Yeah.
And I have kidney. It's not good for kidney stones either.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe I'll have less kidney stones if I keep using it. I don't know. Because it just bothers the kidney.
Mm-hmm.
And it actually can cause a heart attack.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Makes, wow, my legs feel like they're vibrating off, even though I'm not on it anymore.
Yeah.
It increases your circulation though.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna dial now. Stand by.
And what is this for your doctor?
Yeah, it's just to get a second opinion on whether I should cancel my usual services with the waiver, for this week.
Why do you have to get a second opinion? You know, you should get it.
Just deal with me, okay?
Yeah.
I have good reasons for doing everything that I do. You give people like Trump the benefit of the doubt. You always say that he has his reasons, meaning that you believe that he is always correct. You believe that his reasoning is correct? But people like me, autistic people, usually are not given the benefit of the doubt. We're always seen in the worst light, typically. Even when we, perceive that we are doing the exact same thing as everybody else is doing.
Calling Highmark Home Care Medicare Assured. Para continuar en español, pulse 8. Experiencing a medical emergency, please hang up and dial 911. Many member services are available 24 hours a day at our member service portal at www.highmarkwholecare.com. This call may be monitored for quality assurance. Please listen carefully to our updated options as they have recently changed. If you know the extension of the party you are trying to reach, press star. If you are a member, press 1. If you are a provider, press 2. For support with our 2025 Healthy Food, over-the-counter, bathroom home safety, and utility cards, please press 1. For support with our 2024 Healthy Food and utility cards, please press 2. Please have your member ID card available. At the end of your call, please stay connected for a brief survey. Main menu. For the 24-hour nurse line, press 1. For pharmacy, you have chosen option 1, which is the 24-hour nurse line. For questions about benefits, changes to your PCP, ID cards, or other member services, please press 4. If you wish to speak to a nurse, please remain on the line. Thank you for calling the Highmark Home Care Nurse Advice Line. For English, press 1 or stay on the line. Para oír este mensaje en español, oprima el número 2 ahora. If you are calling about a medical emergency, please hang up and dial 911. The information provided by the Nurse Advice Line is not intended to diagnose or replace the advice of a doctor. Your call may be monitored or recorded for quality and training purposes. If you are not having a medical emergency and want to speak to a nurse, please press 1. If you would like to hear the Nurse Advice Line patient rights and responsibilities, please.
Thank you for calling Highmark Home Care Medicare Nurse Advice. Hi, my name is Janie. I'm a care coordinator. Are you calling to speak to a registered nurse?
Yeah.
Yes, you're calling to speak to a nurse?
Yes, yes. Can you hear me all right?
Okay. Is it regarding you or someone else?
It's regarding me.
Okay. How do you have a member ID number?
Yeah. Let's see. Comes after the H, right? 710-13485.
Thank you.
Mhm.
First and last name and date of birth?
Christopher Chakti.
I'm sorry?
Chakti. Trachte.
And is Christopher the first name?
Yes.
Date of birth?
12/16/1984.
You have the address you're currently at.
15 North 9th Street. Apartment 1007. Reading, Pennsylvania. 19601.
Thank you. What's a good callback number?
717-606-5678.
For that 717-606-5678. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. And what would you like to speak to the nurse about?
Oh, the cold that I am getting over and whether it would be appropriate for me to skip my Medicaid waiver services for this. To skip my service providers that come to where I live and take me to activities at a grocery shop. Because I am sick, it might not be good for me to infect other participants within the Medicaid autism waiver program.
Okay, is it like a home care service?
It is not really a home care service per se, being as I am relatively high functioning. I mean, they are supposed to give me advice on life skills. So, cooking, cleaning, shopping, going to activities and socializing, stuff like that. Although, of course, I wish they would also help me with the other side of exceptional, which is gifted, but they can't do that. Anyway, so anything else you needed to know?
Okay, no, I'll go ahead and send this to the nurse. The nurse will call you back in 45 minutes or less to your phone number at 717-606-5678.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, thank you for calling. Hope you feel better.
Okay, sorry.
It's okay, thank you.
Yeah, so she's supposed to call back relatively soon. It's interesting how, this is a Medicare Advantage special needs plan, and yet they still have no idea that it's tied to being in a Medicaid waiver. Hello.
For Chauncey?
Yes, this is.
Hi, my name is Kim. I'm a registered nurse with the Highmark Home Care Philadelphia Medicare nurse advice line. Could you verify your date of birth, please?
Yeah. 12/16/1984.
Thank you so much. And you have just a second to speak with me today?
Yeah, I have plenty of time, yeah.
Wonderful. And if you had not been able to call the nurse line tonight, what would you have done?
I guess I would have just went to sleep and got a good night's sleep. And then
Okay,
I
what's
would-
going on today?
well, I just wanted to check in about my cold that I had called about a couple days ago. And so I was just trying to decide whether or not I should cancel my services from the Medicaid autism waiver this week, in which the service providers would come and take me to activities and shopping, and also coach me in life skills, like shopping and cleaning and cooking and such.
Sure.
Yeah. So the thing is,
So what kind of symptoms do you have right now?
well, my throat is still scratchy, and it still gets itchy to the point where I have to periodically cough to relieve that itchiness. And I still
Okay. When did
have
it start?
last week, maybe well, actually no, maybe about 2 weeks ago, I think. So yeah. So the thing is, I just don't want to necessarily infect the other participants in the autism waiver if we do, say, a group activity. I mean, unless you were sure that.
And I do understand that. That's very thoughtful of you. Now, have you had a fever?
No, I haven't had a fever. No. But when I did see the doctor, maybe like 2 weeks ago, at my local clinic, he had thought, that my blood pressure was elevated, but I think it was because, I was having throat problems back then, and I didn't know that it was slowly forming into a cold. He had thought maybe that, I had burned my throat by eating too much acidic food and then causing acid reflux, which then laid the groundwork for me catching the cold. But I mean, I don't know that for certain, because I had the cough for maybe 3 weeks before that, the irritation and stuff like that, more than usual. So but
So
maybe
is your throat sore or just itchy?
it's been irritated. So I had wondered if it was coming from, having eaten too many fruit smoothies, before, but and and having caused the acid reflux, but now that I know it's the cold, pretty much, um, I'm thinking I'm thinking that eventually this irritation will go away. And of course, I do wish I had gotten the flu shot and the COVID shot, back in November, but I was so focused on the election that I wasn't really paying attention to my own health. But of course, as was with these things, they never put people's health first. Yeah,
I
election things.
understand. So you were concentrated on that election. Were you happy with the outcome?
Uh, no, I actually there was a friend of mine who was just inconsolable for days. So I actually had her over for a couple of days, but she didn't want to go to the election after party with Pennsylvania Stands Up because she just was still inconsolable. Although she was happy to get away from where she was living for a while, but now the um, the election has affected her so bad that she actually hospitalized herself a couple of days ago, and I was kind of in a low place myself, but I didn't know that she had been hospitalized, and and but generally speaking, um, when I'm down, I usually just try and um, take some vitamins and eat lots of fruits and vegetables and and try to get outside and stuff like that. So things just to sort of keep me going.
Right.
It's just
Now,
that
have you done anything to treat your symptoms since all this started 2 weeks ago?
just well, the thing is, I had some friends over, um, not the person who I've mentioned before, but I had some friends over who kept me company, and and I also ate a lot of broccoli and onions, and and sat with my friends and watched movies and stuff like that. Uh, and I also had a lot of oranges and orange juice and a lot of fruit smoothies. So, I
Okay,
mean,
and are you having any difficulty breathing?
not really, just the irritation in the throat.
Okay. And no fever. And on a scale of 0 to 10, 0 being no pain at all, what would you say your pain level is?
Well, I did have some headaches when trying to think before. I mean, if I had to think at a normal level, it would give me a headache at least at a normal level of thinking for me. And so there's still a certain level of brain fog, um, and so I would say as far as pain, there's really no pain. So I guess that would be a 0. But I did have a Charlie horse last night in my leg because I think I dehydrated myself too much by drinking too much smoothie without drinking an adequate amount of water with it. Yeah.
So when's the last time you urinated?
Oh, just a couple of minutes ago, I think.
Okay.
Hmm.
Any trouble swallowing or breathing?
Well, it's just because I stuffed myself with so much food that it took a while for it to go down my esophagus. But over the course of maybe 15 minutes to half an hour, I got about maybe 5 or 6 burps, really big burps. So then I felt better.
Are you able to open your mouth completely?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
Any rash anywhere on your body or any ear pain?
No.
Have you been around anybody that's possibly test proven strep?
No. Um,
Any other symptoms?
uh, not that I can really think of. I mean, just the brain fog and um, the general lack of energy. Um, save weight when I eat a whole bunch of fruits and vegetables.
Right. So I don't think there's any problem with you being around others.
Hmm.
So if you want to go and go with the services, you don't have to stop that.
Hmm.
You could go ahead and go with the services.
Okay.
And if you needed to go, you don't have a fever, you don't have any serious
Mhm.
symptoms that I'm worried about.
Oh,
So
but
I would just go ahead and go as normal.
okay. Yeah, and you don't think it could be contagious to the other participants?
I don't think so. No, not unless
Okay.
you're kissing them or sharing a drink with them.
Okay. Yeah, and it might be a good idea for me to like go out and have a good meal too. I mean, and eat out.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And if things continue,
Mhm.
I would have you seen by your physician again within 3 days. But
Mhm.
as long as you're doing well and
Mhm.
no other symptoms develop, just monitor yourself closely.
Mhm.
Call us back if anything changes, worsens, doesn't improve. Make sure you're drinking plenty of fluids,
Mhm.
staying well hydrated,
Mhm.
and there should be no reason why you cannot go with your weekday services and be seen.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
You enjoy yourself. You let us know if we can help you in any way.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, sir. You take care of yourself. You let us know if we can help you in any way.
All right, yep. All right, see you then. Yep. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yeah. I was surprised that she said that I ought to go to the events, but granted, if everybody else among the participants is healthy, um, then they shouldn't be susceptible to this. I mean, I put myself under too much stress, and and therefore was more susceptible to this sort of thing. I mean, during the last session, they had told me that it was, just a common cold, and most likely not COVID because I hadn't lost my sense of smell and I hadn't, been as low energy as, say, a person who has mono or whatever, you know. So yeah. So tonight I had been thinking of trying to, you know, try and read some more books, but I don't know. Today I just feel like relaxing more and, just going easy on myself and not giving myself anything real heavy like history or whatever. Yeah. So, what are you going to do tomorrow? You going to work again tomorrow? Oh, you're off tomorrow, but you can't come up here tomorrow, can you?
I guess. I'd rather come up just one day because I don't have the mind. I'm trying to get off the Savannah. I'd like to get out and
Mm-hmm.
things might be a little better, but I think
Yeah.
she's scared to lose her place, and I don't know.
Yeah.
I keep spending money I'm going to spend her in. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know what to do because I buy things. I
Yeah.
buy things myself.
Say, did you want to stay overnight here tomorrow? You could. I mean, unless you got to start really early the next morning. Oh, what day did you say you had to be up here for medical appointment? You said the 11th?
Tuesday, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, then, why not say Monday into Tuesday?
Well, only because I have to clean.
Oh, when do you have to clean?
Clean one on my days off. I can't do it on my
Well, okay. How long do you think it'll take you to clean? From 8 a.m. to 8 p.m.? Well, then just come here after 8 p.m. tomorrow.
maybe a month. I'll get clean. How much? It's really rare.
A month? Yeah, but the thing is, if you keep thinking like that, well, the thing is, do you intend to clean for 12 hours straight tomorrow? That would be really overloading yourself. So I would do just a little at a time.
It's gonna be. They could throw me out of here.
I almost wonder if you've got ADHD or something, or something ADHD like, if you will. But what?
Probably because I have so much to do in here. I don't know how to do it again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I have to work on putting that bicycle together before, I don't know, and looking in the other box, and then I have to send that coupling that I bought a coupling for my phone wire. My trouble is it doesn't work. There ain't no point in having it if it doesn't work.
So you bought a bicycle?
Yeah.
What kind of bicycle?
I have to put one of the fold-up bicycles.
Oh, okay.
I can easily put in my car.
Hmm.
And because I don't really want people to see me riding a bike here.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be at the top of the whole place, and they'll say, "Well, why is he walking on crutches if he can ride a bike?"
Mm-hmm.
All that stuff. I'm gonna try put it in my car, drive,
Mm-hmm.
drive somewhere, and then
Mm-hmm.
come back with change it up, and then come back with. I might just try it, right in front of them. I don't know. But I'm not sure. I just don't put all of a sudden because I hate when people talk about me.
Yeah.
And the only reason I have the bike is because physically I'm not doing too good, and ever since I had a bike, I did better.
Yeah.
I'm probably too old to ride it anymore, though.
So you didn't give it a shot yet?
No, it's in pieces.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I have to have tools too. If I'm going to put my tools, I have no.
Well, why don't you just come up here and use my tools?
Because I'd have to take the bike home.
Oh, is it too heavy to carry and put into the car while it's still in the box, or is it not in a box?
Okay. Hard to handle, yeah. I didn't lift it up here. The guy from Amazon did, and I don't think I can carry it.
Yeah.
So I have to put that together
Hmm.
either today or probably tomorrow. And
Yeah.
then I have to clean up my car, clean up my refrigerator, do my wash, recycle all my receipts.
Geez,
And then-
you really got a handle on all the life skills. Yeah, I still got to take out my trash. I haven't emptied it for a couple of days, and it's been filled to the brim. So.
Well, I only have a small trash can. I don't have
Mhm.
anything big.
Yeah.
Only because I broke my trash can. I thought I could get another one, but then dickheads, had to discontinue selling it.
Yeah.
That's the only thing
Well,
available.
that's the thing. Yeah. Generally speaking, if you pressure a corporation by having a lot of people write letters to it, you might be able to get them to change their minds about things. But I mean, it has to be a significant amount of consumers.
I wanted
It
the
has to be a
baby
real
brush.
stake. Yeah.
And but the problem is, I asked them.
Hmm.
I asked them they would remake the baby brush. They said they never made a baby brush like that. I said, well, it has your name on it. Oh, well, we never made that. I said, well, then that's impossible because it has your name on it. And they tried to tell me they never made it. I know they did because it has their name on it.
Yeah.
And I really want to. Well, actually, maybe I should look up can brush. You could use one of those too. But I can't clean. Cans are sharp. They cut my hand every time I try. And I need a new can opener. Just the thing is so old. It still works, but it's really dull.
Yeah.
I should have grabbed my mom's electric can opener, and I didn't. I left the electric can opener there. The thing was really a nice can opener, but my mom didn't know how to use it.
Yeah.
My mom was kind of dumb when it came to using anything technical, anything that would could require some skill.
Yeah. Say, just out of curiosity, when you lived in Reading, where did you used to live? When you were with your mom.
With my mom, I don't know.
Oh,
948 North 10.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think that might be pretty close to here.
And she was known as the prostitute of the block.
Oh, goodness.
I felt like really bad because
it was just a small part of the city's overall struggle. I mean, since like the 50s and 60s and stuff like that.
The problem is, I talked to one of the neighbors there because I saw her, and they said, I across the street, and she says, "Oh yeah, there is a prostitute that used to live there." I said, "Well, it was my mom."
Oh God. Oh jeez.
I see why my mom beat me when I came over to our house and tried to ask her for help. Because obviously the woman didn't like my mom.
So, just out of curiosity, the special school that you ended up going to, where was that? Does it still exist?
No, they bulldozed it.
Yeah. And then, like, how long were you and your brother actually in foster care for? before you
I don't
escaped?
know. Only a couple of years.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Hmm.
I was to know anything. I can't believe they actually did what they did in foster care.
Yeah.
They really needed, that woman should have been punished for what she did to us.
Yeah.
But he didn't say anything because we were just glad to get the hell out of there.
Yeah.
Or at least I was. My brother said he wished he was still there. Well, I said, you can have it. I wouldn't want to stay there with them.
Yeah. Hmm.
I mean, had a little girl. Her name was Dixie. Anyway, she used to mess up the whole place, and then we'd have to clean up after her all the time. I said, I'm not her mom. Like, why the hell do I have to clean up her stuff?
Yeah. So
Like,
what
we're
was she
servants.
about your age?
No, she was little.
Oh, okay.
She was probably, I think she was a baby, but we were toddlers.
Yeah.
I mean, he had me clean out my tub, and I was a little fucking kid. How's a kid gonna clean out a tub?
Yeah.
It's impossible. I mean,
You
that
just
was my
you would just
first
have to
cleaning.
keep stepping in and stepping out of the tub constantly. But yeah, that
No.
would be.
Weren't allowed to step in it. I had to clean it without being stepping in it.
Wow.
She was a total asshole.
Mm. Yeah. So
She really, really shouldn't have.
hmm.
She had her kid taken away from her.
Yeah.
The way she treated us.
Hmm.
I wanted to say, that she abused us, but
Hmm.
the thing is, I just wanted to get away from those idiots. All of them thought they were doing right by us. Well, it's the same way as Cheryl, my friend Cheryl.
Hmm.
They asked me if she was being well taken care of, and I said, no way. They just leave her vegetating in her room all the time, and they don't do nothing with her at all. And she sits there and plays her stereo and doesn't do anything but play her stereo.
So what year was this roughly? Early 70s?
70s.
Yeah.
I don't know.
How old were you? How old were you at the time?
I was in third or fourth grade.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And so at that time was Reading a relatively decent place to live?
Yeah.
Do you miss a lot of the?
It was actually the kids were really bad though.
Oh,
They were
okay.
they were black kids and they were assholes. Their parents, I don't know. Their parents never took care of them.
Well, I don't know if you know, but like back in 2009, there used to be conflicts at Reading High School between all the different like Latino groups of kids, because like it's like an open secret that say the Puerto Ricans have been here longer, and so they're a little at odds with the Dominicans, and then there are other types of Latinos as well that are more of a minority. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Well, the thing is,
but
back in your day, was there as high a Latino population or as much of a immigration as there is now, or is it just that
I didn't see those people there at all.
you didn't see any?
There
Oh,
was not any. they had black and white people. That's it. That's the
Yeah.
whole thing.
Now, one of the
And
trends is that everybody's trying to move from Brooklyn to Reading, incidentally,
Yeah, or they'll stay where they're at.
because it's safer and smaller, for them relative to
No,
Brooklyn. There's all these codes that people use
They
in Brooklyn.
ruined, they ruined Reading.
Oh,
They destroyed.
yeah.
And
Well,
I'm not saying a certain race. I'm just saying they destroyed it.
yeah. Well,
Because basically what they did was they took the ritzy sections and took over and bought out the
mhm,
rich people's place.
mhm,
But the thing that's because they're rich compared to us.
mhm,
And they destroyed it. They put the rent way up so nobody can afford anything.
yeah.
And they did it to the whole town.
Mhm. So, what was the year that you moved from Reading to Lancaster?
1999, which was
Oh.
a big mistake.
Oh, wow.
That's when my life started going downhill.
Yeah, I remember you saying the person who invited you to come to Lancaster, he actually stopped talking to you, and then it was like you had
Yeah.
no one.
Right?
Mhm.
Because he was married to his wife and his wife divorced.
Mhm.
And I said, do you mind if I date her? He said he didn't mind, but he didn't think she would date me. So
Mhm.
she'd date me. And then next thing you know, he didn't want to talk to me no more.
Yeah.
And then she got mad at me because a girl in Erie decided to give me a hickey on my neck, which I didn't want her to do.
Mhm.
And I mean, for as little as she was freaking strong. And she was trying to do this hickey just to piss the girl off here in Lancaster. And she did get pissed off because my friend left me there, and I told him, don't leave me here. But I didn't want to say it in front of her because we used to date each other. She had, I don't know what you call it, some kind of bone disease. I can't remember. It's called something imperfecta. I can't remember.
Yeah. Maybe I'll ask Google. Okay, Google. What is the disease that ends in the word imperfecta?
On the website hopkinsmedicine.org, they say, what you need to know.
Osteogenesis imperfecta.
OI
is an
inherited
genetic bone disorder that is present at birth.
It is
It's also known as brittle bone disease. A child born with OI may have soft bones that break or fracture easily, bones that are not formed normally, and other problems. Interesting.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah.
Well, she was sort of dwarfed,
Yeah.
and he was small.
Oh, yeah. Were her bones actually bending? I forget what the term for that is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, she would break a bone. She fell off her wheelchair a couple times. Like stuff like that. Like who the hell would balance on the arm of their wheelchair and let themselves fall? And
Yeah.
she was so stupid that way. I was like, what the hell are you doing? If you you could kill yourself, but you don't. She didn't care. And then I voted to have somebody that was very sexual. So I want to be sexual. Well, she was really sexual. Oh my gosh, she couldn't get enough. Like I don't know. Well, anyway, she kept dating different people, and then she literally kicked me out because I overstayed my welcome. I stayed there for the whole summer, And
Wait, kicked you out. Wait, you were living with this girl?
yeah, I was living with her over in Erie, and then over the summer. Well, then my mom wanted to know where I was. He
Wow.
went through my phone. He went through my phone book and called people, and then I was so pissed off. And my mom was very meddling and everything else.
How did you get all the way to
just-
Erie?
I took a train.
You could take a train all the way from Reading to Erie?
Oh, I'm sorry. So I took a bus.
A bus, okay. And
Yeah.
did they have a stopover at all? Like, did you have to go through
Yeah.
Harrisburg? And then where did you go
Yeah.
after Harrisburg? Pittsburgh? And
Yeah.
then, yeah. And then so there was a bus going from Pittsburgh to Erie. Huh.
Yeah, I think so.
Hmm.
Anyway, and then I don't know. My mom just, the funny thing is, she never wanted me around when I was there.
Mhm.
But as soon as I was a long time, it's like she wanted to bother me.
Oh,
My situation.
you know what? It sounds like the jealous parent who uses the legal kid stealing thing, the aggrieved parent reclamation program. NPR was talking about that. I'm not sure what the exact name of it was, but basically these kids were not allowed to talk with the parent that they liked, because the aggrieved parent who felt lonely
Literally,
wanted to
my apartment.
yeah
Broke into my so she could get my phone book. And
yeah
I let my brother have my key to my place.
Mhm.
Other than to let her in my place, and she's digging around my stuff.
Mhm.
Like, you can't leave me have a private place, good grief. I mean, I'm an adult. I'm not a kid anymore. You don't break into my apartment.
Wait, was this
No,
her
I don't
mom?
know. Yeah.
Oh wow, that is weird. How did she know where you lived?
I told her where I lived.
Oh, okay.
I lived on 8th Street.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I miss 8th Street. I should have never moved away from.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting how you knew the same guy that Paul did, the guy who wears the kilt and sits at I think it's called Providence House or whatever, and that guy has a
I don't
dog
know.
just like Paul has a dog. Yeah, you knew the same guy. I mean, of course, I you and I visited with him, on a different day than Paul and I visited him. But yeah, what?
I didn't know him. I was talking to another guy. His name was Wayne. Wayne.
Mm-hmm.
Dwayne. His name was Wayne.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't I don't know at all.
Oh, okay.
Just happened to be sitting with Wayne on the porch.
Oh, okay. Right. But yeah, I guess back in the day, it was like easier to relate to people, like to talk with random people and stuff like that. Was everybody more friendly in general? Because like nowadays, it's a little like Philly, where you're supposed to keep your head at like a 45-degree angle in certain neighborhoods, and try not to make eye contact and just walk past other people. Well, that's what Kala told me. In some, more dangerous neighborhoods of like Philly and Harrisburg, you're generally not supposed to. Well, yeah. So you're looking down toward the ground, but you're not looking straight down. You still have your head up enough to see maybe like 20 feet ahead of you, but you don't, you don't try to lose your gaze to look at the person who you're walking past in general.
If you don't engage anybody,
Mhm.
you don't get in trouble. That's true. In Reading,
Mhm.
that's the way it is. Because every time I by somebody, I talked to him.
Hmm.
That's how I got robbed at one time.
Oh, wow. Hmm. Well, the
But
thing is, back during the Spencer administration that me and DeWood had campaigned for, they actually started to use Microsoft's policing tools. I mean, they didn't have like cameras everywhere like Lancaster does, but but they did
Oh,
have
right.
like crime data aggregators and stuff like that. You know, where they could figure out where to target in particular to protect the citizenry and stuff like that. So there has been a lot of cleaning up that has been done, in the city. I mean, since you've been here.
Well, back when I lived on 8th Street, this one landlady lived there, and Bill knew her, and he hated her.
Hmm.
You know, he didn't really like her.
Hmm. Oh,
Because she thought she knew everything, and Bill didn't like that.
hmm.
So,
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
that's the thing. There's supposed to be these legendary people who live in Reading who are like people knowers who like know just about everybody who's important to know in the town. At least that's what Bob
Yeah,
Bailey
exactly.
told me at River Place.
well, he got tired of the prostitutes parading up and down on 8th Street.
Hmm.
So he had the cops do their job
Hmm.
and police the place so that the prostitutes couldn't frequent
Hmm.
the place. Happens is the
Mhm.
cops, of course, are on the prostitute side, so
Mhm.
they decided to make a lot of trouble for this lady, even
Yeah.
though because the prostitutes pay them and they frequent the policemen.
Mhm.
Basically, the policemen take them to bed and
Mhm.
and they fuck them.
Well, they've
Disgusting.
apparently cleaned up a lot of that stuff because I don't know if you know, but William Heim, who was police chief here for like 10 years, he was also Lancaster's police chief for like 6 years after that, and then he came back as a
I wouldn't trust.
director or something. Well, but the thing is, he actually took the FBI training course too, according to his resume.
No.
So,
I wouldn't trust as far as I can throw.
and then
I don't trust.
you don't trust anybody.
I don't trust the Lancaster police, and I don't trust the Reading police because they're all corrupt.
Well, the new guy, the new police chief in Reading is actually from Miami, incidentally.
I don't trust them.
Oh,
I trust the ones on the bicycles. That's all. But they don't have the bicycles.
well, not
I don't
anymore.
know if
Yeah,
I
yeah,
trust-
it was that was part of the whole downtown improvement district thing. Well, actually,
No.
yeah. Okay, you're right.
No.
You're right. They still have.
No. They're a separate entity.
Okay, you're right. You're right.
Downtown Improvement District was the policemen were, hated them because they said they were a pain in the ass.
Mm.
Because they wanted to be free to, be policemen, but the
Mhm.
downtown improvement, I guess they were implemented because they didn't think the policemen were doing enough. So
Mm.
then that they
Just wanted another pair of eyes, huh?
Well, they interfered with police work
Mhm.
because they became, they were a copy of
Mhm.
that one group that used to be headed in New York. I can't remember what it's called.
Mhm. Mhm.
I don't remember all anymore. But he started a crime watch in New York because he got tired of people getting robbed and the police
Mhm.
didn't do nothing, and they never did anything. So he
Mhm.
decided to start their own using the neighborhood people,
Mhm.
So they learned karate and how to
Mhm.
fight and stuff like that. And
Oh, let's see if Google knows. Okay, Google. Who taught karate to the neighborhood watch in New York City?
I don't know, but I found these results on search.
Okay, let's see what it says. It says, Guardian Angels. The organization originally trained members to make citizens arrest for violent crimes. They patrolled streets and neighborhoods without involving police.
Yeah, that's it. And policemen hated them.
Yeah.
Hated them.
Founded on February 14th, 1979 in New York City by Curtis Lewa. Since then, it has expanded to more than 130 cities and 14 countries worldwide.
Well, I thought it was Lewa.
Yeah, it's Lewa, yeah. SLIWA. Yeah.
Yeah. The policemen hated them.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, it said in the beginning, New York City Mayor Ed Koch publicly opposed the group. Over the years, the controversy has diminished. As citizen involvement and opposition to the group by administration officials, Koch later reversed his stance on the organization, and former New York City mayors Rudy Giuliani and Michael Bloomberg have publicly supported the group.
wow, that's amazing. I didn't know that.
Yeah. The original and main Guardian Angels activity is safety patrol, in which members walk the streets or ride transit. Guardian Angels must be in uniform to represent the organization. They can be identified by their red berets and red jackets or white t-shirts with the red Guardian Angels logo of an eye inside a pyramid on a winged shield. Interesting. Chapters operate similarly to franchise networks by supporting one another regionally under standard rules, regulations, and training. The Guardian Angels state that it is an equal opportunity organization that encourages diversity. Interesting.
Yeah, well, I love that organization. I thought that was great.
Oh, there it is. They are trained in first aid, CPR, law, conflict resolution, communication, and basic martial arts. The organization accepts volunteers who have no recent or serious criminal record and are not members of a gang or racial hate group. Interesting. They have also begun to include youth programs, teacher programs, disaster response, an internet safety program called Cyber Angels, and self-defense courses, as well as community outreach program to address issues beyond crime. Interesting.
They still,
What?
they still,
Oh,
they,
yeah, of course. Let's see.
how do you know?
Because the article says so.
Oh,
Yeah, so the latest they have here is outside of New York City. The Guardian Angels first established chapters in Washington, D.C., New Orleans, Los Angeles, San Diego, San Francisco, Fresno, Chicago, Philadelphia, Boston, Denver, London, Toronto, Dallas, Tokyo, Houston, Cape Town, Auckland, Savannah, Seattle, and York. Subsequently, the organization established chapters in smaller cities, such as the cities of Springfield and Brockton, Massachusetts, Sacramento and Stockton, California, and Portland, Maine. In May 2011, the chapter was organized in Indianapolis, Los Angeles, York, Pennsylvania, and Sacramento chapters work with official law enforcement officers and agencies.
they should have been ready.
Yeah, Tampa Bay has 2 Guardian Angels chapters. They've been active in Orlando, and then the latest was in 2016. The Washington, D.C. chapter announced they would increase their presence on the Washington Metro following an increase in violent crime. And they've got them in Australia, Canada, Germany, Japan, Mexico, New Zealand, the Philippines, South Africa, United Kingdom.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, they're all over the place, you know.
Now my head hurts on one side. Oh.
Why does your head hurt?
Because of my neck. I have a very broken neck.
How do you know your neck is broken? Was that from your childhood?
No, because I fell on my head when I was showing off with my handicapped friend that has imperfecta osteogenesis.
Oh, okay. So that was early 70s, right?
No, not early 70s, but late, maybe in the 80s.
Yeah. How old were you then?
I thought I was around like 36 or something like that.
Yeah. So, what did you think of those days when the Penn Street used to be all pedestrian only? And did they have Fifth and Penn as a roundabout back then? I don't quite remember because they want to make it a roundabout, but of course they still want to keep it car rather than pedestrian.
I think, yeah, they started putting that brick layout up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And by the way, has Business 422 always given people a headache? You know, having to go through the city to go to points east. You know, as opposed to the bypass.
I don't know.
Because remember, it's Franklin Street going east, and then it's Washington Street going west. Business 422.
I know that they went in the opposite direction, but
yeah.
Just like Lancaster, they had London Street going.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, yeah. I was thinking like, you know, Prince and Queen and Lancaster. Yeah. Yeah. So, you know, what was it always pretty difficult, you know, to cross streets like Franklin and Washington in Reading, to your knowledge?
Franklin and Washington.
Yeah, were they always pretty fast traffic? Yeah. Franklin was the one that goes by the train station. Yeah.
That's pretty difficult. A lot of the streets there, like 13th Street was pretty difficult to cross.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was on 10th Street. That was difficult to cross because I almost got hit.
Yeah.
I don't know where this guy came from, but when I crossed, there was absolutely no cars coming. And then I went to go across the street.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I couldn't see cars down there for miles.
Mm-hmm.
When I crossed the street, somebody came out of nowhere. I don't know where the freaking guy came from, and he just about hit me. Just about hit me. And, he was going really fast. Anyway, stopped the car, got out, and started swearing at me, and you fucking kid. And I said, dude, first of all, don't swear at me. I'm just a little kid. I said, you don't swear at little kids. And he says, who are you talking to? You little fucking bitch. And I said, dude, I told you don't swear at me. First of all, you're speeding. Don't blame me for you almost hitting me. You were speeding. And you little snot nose. And I was out of my tree, man. I thought I was dead because he was going fast. And and the thing of it is, he basically must have turned off of something. I don't know. That's the only thing I can think of. I didn't see anything. I wouldn't even step foot on the street unless there was nothing there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So he turned off of something and then started speeding down the road.
Hmm.
Either that, or else he was speeding that fast that 1 minute it was clear and next minute it was almost on top of me.
Mhm.
I don't know. But I was really blessed that he stopped.
Yeah, I've heard tell that there are some people who know how to time all the lights just right so that you get green lights the whole way from the back to the front of the city or from the front to the back. Yeah, my friend Peter
Well-
Toulay used to talk about that back when he had his Pontiac
So
Sunbird.
I thought they have a car that can do that.
Hmm.
It knows just how to
Mhm.
run to the green light.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. It was really interesting. Dawood later told me that he saw Peter Toulay and his mom at the Trump rally at Santander. Well, of course, I was on the other side of the barrier protesting Trump's presence with Burke Stands Up, incidentally. But
So Burke didn't stand up quite tall enough. So then they escaped that.
well,
Burke sit there. Burke sit down.
you know that Burke Stands Up is famous for shutting down the detention center, right? Remember, it was a family detention center out by the prison.
Out by where?
Out by the prison, and now they're trying to turn it into some sort of youth center.
Oh, probably.
Yeah, out on County Welfare Road where the County Ag Center is, and yeah, huh?
I saw the stand up like.
Oh yeah, yeah. I sent you that thing that's coming up that they have about disability advocacy and stuff like that. Thought maybe you might like to attend and ask some questions and stuff like that. I think the presenter is supposed to have cerebral palsy too.
It didn't seem interesting. They thought it seemed self-important and.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I mean, I tried to get Tara to go. I mean, because the only reason, of course, why I think they'd be okay with her there is because she never follows through and therefore never goes there anyway. But I'm sure she would annoy the hell out of them, to be honest.
That group that shut you down, you should put her in the middle of the group and, so she can start screaming.
Well, the thing is, for being radicals, they're pretty reserved people, I would say. in general.
Well, I go to this one group where I forget. It was some kind of group that was against discrimination against people in wheelchairs.
Mm-hmm.
They used to chain themselves to different places.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't like the way the handicapped people were treated. So then they get the police. They literally took this girl. She was a quadriplegic and threw her out on the wheelchair on the ground. I said, "My goodness."
Well, that's the nature of civil resistance. Did I tell you how the League of American Bicyclists first got recognized in Greater Philly? Or well, so apparently they realized that there was no input from bicyclists when they built the Walnut Street Bridge in Philly, wherever that is, and so they had I think they had a die-in on the bridge so that traffic couldn't get through, and then that's when they started to incorporate bicycles into their planning. Yeah. Yeah, I have a little bit of a headache too. Oh, I know what you could do. Just have some instant coffee. Just have 2 scoops of instant coffee and some hot milk, and it'll do you good, probably.
Yeah, probably, but I don't really drink coffee.
Yeah. Do you have a multivitamin? That might help. I mean, as long as you eat a little something with it. Because if you take vitamins on an empty stomach, it'll just make your headache worse.
Took them this morning.
Yeah. So, was it fairly easy for you to travel to Philly and Pottsville when you were young? Oh, okay. Well, I mean, of course, the last passenger rail going out of Reading was in '81. So, did you use the train much before '81? 1981?
We used the train to get back from Pottsville to Reading, but I didn't. I think it did go back right to Reading. Yeah.
Yeah. And then, was there rail that went beyond Pottsville back in the day? Like, did it go to St. Clair and Frackville too? At some point?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I
Yeah.
don't remember now.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
I don't think they did.
Yeah. Well, then, how did those people get to Reading or Philly?
So
Oh, wow. Yeah, I've been saying that that the passenger rail system should be, totally complete, in that it should go to every town, that's incorporated at the very least, because that's the way it used to be in like the late 1800s. You could go anywhere, that was considered a sizable town in the entire United States. And then, of course, then people started wanting to have, property that was out of the reach of public transit. In the whole idea of exclusivity, the whole concept of family values was coded. Yeah.
This chair that I have that my mom bought me.
Mm-hmm.
She bought a chair for all these people,
Mm-hmm.
and mine's the only one up after all these years. All the
Yeah.
rest of them just fell.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So your connections in Lancaster have never been as good as your connections in Reading, correct?
Well, no, Reading connections are terrible.
Oh. Yeah, but you knew a whole lot more people here, right?
Not really.
Hmm.
I never was very popular with anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, people in Reading sucked. They were sucking.
Well, that's
I mean,
that's kind of what the Go Reading Burks documentary said in it was called The Corrupt City. It was about the mafia rule in Reading back in the day. But they said Reading people generally like to be left alone. So that's why it took so long to realize that, the city was run by corruption, for 2 decades. And then, once they found out about it, they just moved to the suburbs, with abandon, and, never really wanted to come back.
I mean, the thing that made Reading really bad was the black people. Black
geez.
people are just, their kids are corrupt. Corrupt. They made it really bad. I mean, like, they were constantly shitting on white people. I don't know what the frick was wrong with them.
Maybe that's why the more conservative business black culture developed, say, in response to that, and especially Muslims like Dawood and his mom really have a very strict code of honor and stuff like that. So it must have been like sort of in reaction to what you were describing, because yeah, well, definitely Dawood's mom was an extremely strict person with him.
But he's not black. He's Indian.
What? No. Dawood is black. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said he was.
No. That was Manoj. Manoj Ori, who used to work at the 7-Eleven across from where me and Kevin Kalla used to live at Berkshire Gardens Apartments. And then Manoj Ori was the one who got Kevin Kalla into Governor Mifflin Apartments, even though he technically wasn't supposed to. But the lease was in Sarah's name, and Sarah's mom had paid like, a year in advance worth of rent. So try as she might, the landlady from Berkshire Gardens couldn't convince the Governor Mifflin people, to not let those two into Governor Mifflin. So,
well, I don't know.
But then, of course, the rest of the story. I mean, Kevin Kalla and Sarah Miller's marriage only lasted about like 3 months. And, Kalla has said he always tried to make it work, but yeah, it was just like Sarah was a different person back then, and now she's with somebody else, and like much freer of a person, not too tied to the culture of her parents anymore. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what it was about black people back then, but the thing is, never take care of their kids. Never. I mean, they were always running they didn't, and they shit on all the white people. And I was like,
well, the thing is, you do know that Dawood is a Trump supporter, right? And he actually was complaining about the so-called welfare queens in the Reading Housing Authority. Yeah. So the thing is, my point is, he sounds basically like you, if you will, for a black person, you've got to give him credit that he sounds like a typical upstanding white person like you. He agrees with you about everything. I mean, including the hidden corruption and stuff.
We were as children, and then you put up there with us freaking zoo animals. Like, good grief! I mean, they were just. What? I mean, they were taught to be total agonistic. I mean, like, they wouldn't help you if you were dead.
Well, yeah, I mean, Reading School District has tried to, address that sort of ghettoish culture in in the high school in recent years, and they definitely have added security and more support programs, both academic and other parts of life support as well. So, like for example, there's got to be like almost 20 PhDs that are listed on Consult for the Reading School District. All in various areas and stuff like that. And they also now have the Knights Keep, which is um, a, uh, a homeless shelter basically for students, and they can shower and eat there and stuff like that. It's the first of its kind in the nation. Yeah. Yeah.
So what was he a property owner, not
Well,
property owner?
well, the thing is, he now owns the house that his mom used to have. He ended up buying it from her, but also she did have to go to Ohio with the rest of the family because she did start to get dementia. I guess the Alzheimer's variety. But yeah, and Dawood's mom. But in her heyday, she had actually gotten a PhD in psychology from Alvernia and worked at Berks Counseling Center. So, yeah, and I would say she was one of those more dignified blacks who had this sort of like refined speech. It didn't occur to me that there was, such a black person like that until I met one, and this other lady who has this really rich voice, if you will, lives at Market Square, and she just has really polished mannerisms, and like she seems to know everything about everything about the city and stuff like that, and you wouldn't know it, because she looks like, she's just an average old person sitting in a wheelchair. But she has sort of this polished, golden sounding voice, if you will, with very refined grammar and word choice and stuff like that. You'd have to see it to believe it. And DeWood's mom was like that too. I think it harkens back to what Henry Gates Lewis was talking about on PBS when referring to the black church, because that comes from a time when blacks, some of the blacks had started like their own communities. They had their own businesses, their own newspapers, stuff like that.
I mean, the black people, not the kids, but the parents, they were really decent people. Although they couldn't understand why I wanted to hang around that I wanted to hang around black people. I wanted to know about them.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, my grandmother used to say that a lot of people moved out of Reading, to have better life for their kids, like in Shillington, but then those kids were the ones who were turning Shillington bad. So the thing is, how do you create a whole education system, that totally hedges against that sort of thing? Actually, there was this radical program that was in Nevada or something like that, where the somewhat wealthy white family would actually bring the black family into their home, and then like teach them everything they knew about, if you will, the fancy suburban lifestyle and the business sense that we assume is in all upper middle class people. But like, there's just so many gaps that you almost need a person to be constantly, filling in those gaps in the complete body of knowledge. Just because with racial disparities and stuff like that, it's just so hard to be able to figure out or know certain things when you don't have access to certain things. Yeah.
Well, that's the best thing you do.
Well, and talk about like economic gerrymandering. That when the big highways were built, they always bulldozed through the black neighborhoods, and then the public transit systems would service the white neighborhoods better and stuff like that. So, there's all these concerns with like access, and the black neighborhoods tended to suffer, worse pollution and more food deserts, which is where it's harder to access like fresh produce and stuff like that. So that falls under the bigger category of environmental racism. So yeah. So there's just so many damages, so to speak, that are like unwritten that black people have suffered. And so the thing is, it's a little outdated to say, it's about character, or behavior, because if you've lived in a certain environment, it's hard to know anything outside of that environment or that milieu, so to speak. and as some people say, everybody's everybody's influenced by their subculture, so to speak, and therefore could be a product of their subculture, unless they're exposed to other things with an open mind. And they said, a lot of the people in the diversity programs at Penn State, like the Educational Opportunity Program, they're meant for people who haven't been steeped in a culture of education. Like for my parents, for me and my sisters, everything was such high stakes in in education, and we were trying to all get merit scholarships and stuff like that. But for a lot of the black kids who were sent to this relatively rural area from the Penn State Berks Philadelphia recruitment office, a lot of them were kind of disoriented when they came here. And at NAACP, there was this guy who said he was the head of the Black Student Union, back in the 70s or something like that. And he said the transplants from Philly were always complaining to him. And so he compared it to now, where the diversity billboards advertising Kutztown, kind of like deceive the black students into thinking that Kutztown is diverse, when it's really, a sundown town, and Kutztown University is mostly white and stuff like that. But at least it's advanced to the point, he said, where if the black students aren't treated well enough by certain businesses, then the police and the university's lawyers get together, and decide whether that business, should exist in the town of Kutztown anymore. Because as he says, the town is nothing without the university. And so the university's customers, generally take first precedence regardless of race. So there are systems and councils of like negotiating through these struggles and stuff. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure they're much more improved since your days here. Yeah. So anyway, do you want to try and go to bed now? It seems so. I think I ought to go to bed as well too, since I do have an appointment with my counselor in the morning. Okay. I will talk to you later. Bye. It is 12:35 a.m. Now signing off.